Hey, sorry, I'm enjoying my coffee. Happy day 844 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here at your service, chatting a little bit about taking business online, going from the offline brick and mortar world, the corporate world, the world of jobs and employees, or the world of small businesses in all different industries. I figured at least 27 different businesses and industries throughout my business ownership and corporate career. And of course, now I'm in yet another business, and I haven't counted the things I've done or tried online that would count as business attempts, but I'll do that one of these days. I just haven't been willing to fess up to all my trial and error on my online journey so far. But since I'm done day 844, it hasn't been an overnight success. Guess what? No one is an overnight success. Anybody that you see that's an overnight success, you always need to dig into that and look at what's the real story. Because online, people show you what they want you to see. Just like watching a television show or a movie. You only see the bits, or reading a book. You only see the bits and the pieces and the scenes and the snippets of the story that are important to the story, that are revealing what it is they want you to reveal. Unless, of course, you watch 844 days of my freaking videos, and then I just hop on, start talking, and tell it like it is. Or tell it like I see it, right? We all can only tell it like we see it. We can only tell our story through our own lens, of experience. I don't know why I'm holding a pen. So today, I want to talk a little bit about celebrating. It is my amazing, beautiful granddaughter. I only have one granddaughter yet. So far, I only have one grandchild. And she hangs out with me during the day, especially during this crazy COVID pandemic time. And today is her 5th birthday. I always say I have a 4-year-old granddaughter. It was a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old and then a baby. But now she's 5. She turned 5 today, and I'm so excited. She's hanging out with her mom, so I'll see her today because I've got to get her some presents. But I miss her because I'm so used to having her every day. But we hung out yesterday. Actually, we went to the state park yesterday. My son's been taking us to the state park since, I think I've mentioned, I don't drive. So in the afternoons, we've been going to the state park, but not on Wednesdays because it's closed for maintenance during COVID. Actually, it's closed, but there's a ton of people out there, which is bad and good. They've got their summer help on, so there's a little more presence, but the park isn't really open. So there's been a lot of behavior that you wouldn't expect to see. Lots of people throwing trash around, lots of people just, being kind of goofy and crazy and disrespectful of nature and of the park itself, which I find heartbreaking because it's one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. But yesterday we went for a walk in the afternoon, and these little black biting flies. I had a ponytail in, and my son's like, "What's going on in your neck? Your neck's bleeding." And I had like 8 or 9 of these little black fly bites, and they were bleeding on my head. Now I noticed I had one on my side of my head today too, so they definitely ate me a lot. So, and then we just went on a short walk, and as soon as he saw that, he checked my granddaughter, and she had 2 little bites on her neck, and he had one on his. So we hightailed it out of the park. Of course, did a little Google research about black flies and their bites, and we all took Benadryl, and we all went about our way. But we definitely hightailed out of the park. Turns they only last for like 4 or 5 days. It was super annoying, and I'm surprised that in all of the years that I've been going to the park, I have never, maybe because I wore hoodies or hoods or something, because there were guys in hoodies that we had warned about the black flies, and they're like, "Oh, we were just around there. There's no problem." See, now it itches now that I'm talking about it. But today I want to celebrate my amazing 5-year-old granddaughter, and just want to celebrate all the people that have been doing the Get Up and Go challenge with me. It's awesome to see people doing what they can with what they've got right now. And I'm going to share in the Get Up and Go challenge today some people and their stories about how it's impacting them, what they're doing, how they're experiencing the COVID virus and the change. And I'm actually looking at and thinking about doing this going forward, and doing Get Up and Go interviews as a regular part of my podcast. Now, I'm rebranding and changing and transitioning. You might have noticed I haven't been showing up as Pajama Grandma anymore. I think I had a robe on once in the last 2 months maybe that I've done my videos in, and I could be wrong about that. It might have been more than once, but the point is I'm just kind of pulling Pajama Grandma out of my repertoire. She was just a piece of me, and I actually think it was forcing me to stay small. It was forcing me to hide behind my robes, behind Pajama Grandma, and I'm like, all right, done that for 2 years. It's time to change and morph and do something different. So I'm actually in a group, in a mastermind group and an accountability group and a coaching group that we're working on our branding and cleaning it up. Now, if you've ever checked out any of my social media, and I've known this since I first came online, that it was a freaking mess, right? Because I joined Facebook when Facebook first started. So I've had 5,000 friends forever, and I've never gone in, and periodically I'll go in and I'll clean out some people because I make sure I want to friend certain people. But for the most part, I've never done that. It's not a targeted group of people. It's just 5,000 people that have come into my life and wanted to be friends, and I wanted to be friends. And originally, I remember when it first started, I thought it was so cool that we could have friends and meet people and be in contact with people all over the world. I mean, this is like when the internet first started, when Facebook first started, that I accepted and have a lot of international friends, a lot of foreign friends, because I think that's exciting. And I always wanted to travel the world. And so I thought, how cool would it be if you knew people all around the world and you could go all around the world and travel to different places. Now, I haven't gotten to do much traveling, but I definitely passed the travel bug on to my son, because he has been in many, many countries, like, I don't know, 34 or something, lots, which I think is a lot, since I've been in like 5, or well, and then some islands for cruises. But I've got this international mess on my Facebook profile. Then I've got Facebook pages. Now, I don't just have one Facebook page. I don't just have my Get Up and Go page and my Get Up and Go group. I've got, I think, 20 or so Facebook pages, 20 or so Facebook groups. And what do you do with 20 groups? Most of them, absolutely nothing, right? What do you do with 20 pages? Absolutely nothing, because this is one of the first lessons that I broke. The first rules that I broke of the online world is you're supposed to pick one thing and go for that. Go all in on that. Become the genius and expert in that thing, the category king. And of course, I didn't want to do that, like so many people that I've worked with. We have got all these years of experience. We've done all these things. We can't possibly pick one or decide on one thing, so we have to do them all. What happens when you do them all? You are looking at 844 days of talking to people and sharing your experience with them, confessing that you screwed up for all that time because you tried to do more than one thing. So I'm in this branding group to really revamp, rebrand myself and what it is that I'm doing, and focus in on the one thing. Now, over the last year or so, I've been focusing and honing in more on challenges, because challenges have been my thing forever, and I've just finally committed to, okay, that's my thing, right? Not 8 billion things, challenges aren't my thing. And this day and age, it's sort of appropriate and perfect that that's my thing, because that helps people get instant results really, really in days, not years, and that's really important for now, for always, but especially for now, when so many people are in this massive pivotal change. Or I love that the word pivot has become so popular. It's really funny. I'm like, okay, pivot just means change, but pivot and pandemic sound really cool together. So maybe we'll start a dance, the pandemic pivot, if I could dance. Ooh, I'm spilling my coffee, getting too excited. So working on that. Get Up and Go challenge again, sharing stories today of people and what they're doing to pivot. If you are making a cool pivot and you'd love to be on the podcast, Get Up and Go podcast, or that'll be the series. I'm not sure what the name of my actual podcast is going to be. That'll come out of my branding coaching, because I definitely have help with certain things, and that's one thing. Finally smart enough to raise my hand and say, please help me. And so I'm going all in on that group. Let me know, though, if you want to be on the podcast, because I want to share people's stories of what they're actually doing. And you don't have to have figured it all out. I want to share that we don't decide something. I think if you learned anything from me, it's that I don't decide something and then go straight to the finish line. We go up and down and up and down. And we actually learn more from our failures than we do our successes. So I actually kind of get excited when I screw something up or when I fail at something now. Now, it wasn't always that way, but now it is, because I know that if I mess something up, then I'm going to look for a better solution. I'm going to keep moving until I figure it out. If I do something kind of good or okay the first time and I get an all right result, I might just go with that mediocre result and never look for a better solution or a better way of doing something. What else is going on? Fun challenge today, day 134 of the 365-day do one fun thing every day challenge. And today, it was a definitely maybe day, so we talked about that. Spitting image was the topic of the idiom that I'm doing today. And I'm going up and down on the idiom thing. It's really a fun way. It's kind of like having a word of the day. what does this word mean? Where did it come from? And how can you apply it to your business today? Well, I'm doing that with idioms, because when you put certain words together, they mean something totally different than the words individually. And spitting image, you're not going to spit at a picture. To me, spitting image means you're spitting at an image or a picture or a graphic or something. If you were to take the words individually and what it would mean literally, but that's not what it means at all, right? It means a perfect likeness or an exact copy or an exact resemblance of something. And you can take any idiom. So far, I have taken 444 different idioms and shared their etymology or their history and what they mean, where they came from, and then how you can apply it to your business. And I've gotten every one so I can apply it to your business, whatever stage your business is in, whether you're just starting out, whether you're growing and building your business or coming up and creating your system, or you're wanting to supersize and really scale your business. And I guess I'm kind of proud of that. I didn't think about it till today, because I kind of whine in my head sometimes about, I'm getting tired of idioms. I don't want to keep doing this. But now it's kind of become my side thing, where it's just a cool way of looking at something that is impacting a lot of us. I mean, if an idiom or a saying's been around for a couple of thousand years, do you think it might be impacting somebody or someone or something that has anything to do with your business? At first, I wasn't convinced of it, but now I'm totally convinced of it. If, an expression has been used, maybe I don't use it or I've never heard of it, and there have been idioms that I've come across I've never heard of. I have no idea. Or, guess what? I had them wrong. I had the actual wrong meaning in my mind, and I was using it incorrectly. Well, that means probably other people were too, right? I doubt that I'm the only one that could figure out how to use something wrong. So I had mixed feelings, and every once in a while I get a pinch of, how do I want to keep doing this? And I thought, just like we all think, I'm going to run out of content. I'm going to run out of things to say. I'm going to run out of idioms. And then I did a quick Google search, and it turns out there's at least 20,000 idioms in the English language. And just like words are evolving, idioms are changing and evolving all the time. So I suppose by the time I would get to 20,000, I can tell you right now, I promise I'm not going to do 20,000. But if I were to get to all 20,000, guess what? There'd already be probably 20,000 more that have been discovered and people are using and realizing that we've been impacted by them for years and years and years. So probably won't run out of idioms anytime soon. But as I'm changing and rebranding and focusing in my direction, I may choose to do something different with that segment than sharing an idiom every day. I actually think that, and I just thought about this a couple of days ago, it's kind of like doing improv, right? You get a topic and you have to riff on it or talk about it just right away, right off the cuff. And I do pretty much the same thing with the idioms. I read the idiom, I read this little blurb. I actually started doing this when I was moving, and I'll show you the cover of the book without my Post-it notes on it, because I'm the queen of Post-it notes. Thank you, Father, who worked at 3M his whole career. As I was cleaning to move, I found this little book, Dictionary of Idioms, and there's 600 idioms in this, and I'm at 444, so it's getting down to kind of slim pickings, because I would just, at first, I would randomly pick a page, I would open up the book, and usually there's 5 or 6 idioms on a 2-page spread, and I would just pick one of those 6, and I would make that the topic for the day. I would read the little description. They usually have about a paragraph. They've got an example of the idiom, then they've got the meaning, and then the origin of it. Now, what I found is a lot of them don't have the origin, so guess what I do? I grab my phone and I Google it. I say, hello, Google, where did name is mud originate from? Where did the idiom name is mud originate from? And I would ask, and I'd find a little more information. And then I just share that. I share, okay, what's the idiom? Where did it come from? And what does it mean? And then how do you tie that into your business? Because I'm a business coach, so I want to tie it into business. So it kind of started to be just this, like, it's like doing improv. You get a topic and you have to talk about it and riff on it. And it's been good from a personal development standpoint for me, as well as, figuring out what do things mean? How do I tie them into what it is that I'm doing and teaching and wanting to share? Because if I can do it, if I can find something as random as idioms or words and tie them into and understand what they mean for my business and then your business as well, I think that's really powerful in getting me to hone my skills of thinking on my feet, being creative, being a problem solver, right? We're looking for solutions. Okay, well, my problem every day as I grab one of these is, number one, I can't see. So, most people can see and they can read notes and do things. I can't see, so I don't have something that I can look at and cheat and help me to work on the idioms. I mean, I have to use a magnifying glass to even to do these. Sometimes I pop them up on my big screen TV so I can read the meanings. Talking too much. And so it's all about continuous improvement for me as well as for you when I'm sharing these. So that's way more on idioms than I ever talk about. But like I said, I may or may not continue to do that. I am getting comfortable with SOAP being the acronym for how I teach people to do challenges and how we do challenges. I'm not sure that I'm there yet 100% with where I want to be with the Get Up and Go Challenge. Again, Get Up and Go Challenge just emerged out of the whole pandemic. I decided I've always been doing challenges, but I was teaching people how to do challenges to use them in their business, and I still do that. But the Get Up and Go Challenge is more about you taking action and doing what it is that you need to do in your business or in your life, but primarily I go with a business focus. I think this last time through, we're just finishing up one. We're going to start another one on Monday the 25th. If you want to be a part of the challenge, I'll put the link in the comments below. So if you want to be a part of the challenge, you can. It's free, of course. It's 100% free. And if you want to go back, I did a 30-day Get Up and Go Challenge, which is a much bigger breakdown of the process that you can use day by day. It's not a huge thing. It's do a little thing every single day to guarantee that you're better off at the end of the pandemic than when we came into it. And, I never thought I would do a 30-day challenge during the pandemic and we'd all be stuck at home. But, we all know that it's stretched out. It's gone from days to weeks to months now. And so the whole month of April 1st to the 30th, I did a daily Get Up and Go Challenge. And then I thought, okay, that's too long. It's too much for most people. What if we condensed it down and did a 5-day version? And in the 5-day, really it ends up being 10 days, 9 or 10 days, because I do 5 days of the main framework. Here's the framework. And then I give examples of, and I do a Q&A day, and then I do examples of people that are using it, how it's impacted me, what I've done to pivot and change during the pandemic, and then what other people can do as well. And then I share other people's stories and give them an opportunity to work further with me or with our group so that you can make sure and guarantee that you have long-term positive effects of going through the pandemic, right? We actually had a family pandemic scare a little bit yesterday. My son has got a teammate that he's been working with, and his girlfriend had a fever, and everybody was all panicking. I'm like, I'm not panicking about this. And then, of course, yesterday morning her fever was gone. So it's like, yeah, probably doesn't have COVID, so let's not worry about it. But it's amazing how all of us now, and I don't know about all of us, but even me, the first thing we think about is, oh, could this be a COVID symptom? And it's really a change and a movement that's impacted our entire world and all of our lives. So that's all I've got today. Go out. I'm going to go celebrate, find ways to celebrate with my little granddaughter today. You have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, just ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow to report back in on how my transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of real businesses is in transitioning to online is going. All right, catch you tomorrow. Bye.